What's good, everybody? Welcome into your daily sports betting brand of record. We like to call it the early edge. We are powered, as always, by the almighty SportsLine. I am your leader, the coach, and these are the days that this show was made for. A little housekeeping before we get into everything that we are doing today. Hopefully, you watched our soccer-only episode because those 3 English Premier League games start right now. So it's too late, or is it? 2 more games if you so choose to go watch it, still to tee off or kick off, I guess, later today, and 1 game tomorrow. Let's take a look at how we did yesterday. In the first ever double showdown, Prop Stars and Uncle Dave, and they both hit. How about that? A lot of green check marks. If you watched Early Edge Live or listened to Twitter Spaces, then you cash some tickets from there as well. But there are a whole bunch of storylines today. So let's bring in the stars of the show. And you know, on Sunday mornings, it is Sunday brunch time, live from Nashville, Tennessee, the penthouse level, M Squared. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, guys. Definitely Sunday brunch, although I will admit I haven't had the coffee yet. That's going to come between shows. After this one, we'll take Chief for a little walk, grab a coffee, a latte. But Sunday brunch, let's do it.
It's so surprising, Mike, because the energy is just jumping off the page. Yeah. I could have swore you had your coffee already. From Nashville, Tennessee, also live, but 8 floors below. AB, dial up. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, boys. Wanted to say, first off, y'all did a great job on the Twitter Spaces yesterday. It was fantastic. Also, number 2, Mikey, before you leave the building, swing by the janitor's closet, man. Like to see you and Chief get a nice start to the day.
You know what's crazy? You brought up the Twitter Spaces, so I want to hit on that real quick. Because, as always, Mikey, Jay Smooth figured out a way to worm his way into the broadcast and hang out for 30 or 40 minutes. Can you handle your boy, please?
He definitely finds a way to make a scene, make an entrance, but he asked some good questions, and hopefully he took my advice and didn't bet the Jonathan Taylor touchdown like we talked about. So I haven't talked to him about that. We'll see if he did or not.
All right, we'll find out. A man who is going to dominate Twitter Spaces. We call him the Maestro. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. I'm curious to learn exactly what Twitter Spaces is all about, as I was off yesterday, but I love getting a glimpse into the morning routine of Mike's cosmopolitan life in downtown Nashville.
Mike's the one that stands in the VIP line at Starbucks, and AB's the one that, kind of looks over the crowd to see if his latte is up there in the line with everybody else. All right, let's get into it. Storylines that could affect the betting lines today, and there are a whole bunch today. We're going to start M Squared, and you've got something coming out of Tampa. What do you got?
Yeah, Tampa Bay here. I want to talk about Antonio Brown. So Brown has basically missed out around $340,000 in game checks that he's missed around the COVID stuff. So he has some incentives in his contract that he can very easily hit coming up, and he's got a great opportunity to do it. In the past, Tom Brady has liked to reward some of his players when he knows incentives are on the line. This is the perfect spot to start hitting incentives in a game where they're double-digit favorites and should easily be able to win. So Antonio Brown needs 382 yards in the final 3 games. He also needs 2 more touchdowns. If he gets 2 touchdowns in the last few games here, he will make more than he missed out on the COVID situation just from his contract incentive bonuses. So he has 29 receptions so far. He needs 21 more in the final 3 games for an additional $350K. So there's something to keep an eye on. The reception props are not available yet. I would have preferred the reception props. I'm still monitoring them. I expect the number to come in at 5.5. I would play it above that. I think that he has 7 receptions in this game today. But just keep an eye on Antonio Brown and understand the incentives in the contract there and realize that this is the guy that Tom Brady invited into his home. He's going to help him get these incentives.
This is real money. These things really, really matter. Incredible nugget from Mikey this morning to start us off. By the way, really quickly, Mikey, a chat question. Survivor pools are getting very, very, very slim. Seahawks or Chargers today? Quickly, would you play which one?
I'll take the Chargers still. I'll take the Chargers.
Okay, take the Chargers. There you go, Michael. You're welcome. All right, AB. There are a lot of issues. If people woke up this morning and they saw the number for the Ravens and the Bengals, what in the world just happened? Well, what happened is they lost their second quarterback. what's going on with the Ravens today?
Yeah, no Tyler Huntley out there. So you're looking at Josh Johnson at quarterback. And when you take a look at a guy like him and playing a third-string QB, especially this late in the season, in a division game against a pretty good team, you kind of want to figure out what you're going to get out of him, okay? So, one, Josh Johnson, it's not like he's a kid. Like, seemingly he's played for every team in the NFL. Like, his resume is massive. But he's not that bad of a quarterback, right? And his approach is probably going to be – he's going to have to put the ball in the air, 30 to 34 times today, just because the game script will probably dictate it. However, I don't think that they necessarily get blown out. I would look at guys like Mark Andrews and Marquise Brown, people that he can trust. Look for him to start early with short yardage passing, as well as using the run game in his favor, just to get a little confidence up. So it might be slow starting from Baltimore, but I think that they have a better game than people think, and we're going to correlate that with a play here in just a little bit.
Oh, interesting. A little tease. I can guarantee you that the last person to say Josh Johnson's name on the air was this guy right here, because I was the official voice of the XFL. I was the guy. I did the pregame show. I was the first one. He played in the XFL. We'll see today when the game moves a little bit quicker than the XFL does. Now, there is another big-time name that will not be on the field today. Very, very important. Maestro, talk to me.
Yeah, well, before I get to that, yes, the same Josh Johnson, people want to know in the chat, who threw for over 300 yards and 3 TDs in garbage time against the Colts this year and almost came back to cover that game for the Jets, which was a crazy finish. So, yeah, he can move the ball. I'm on Cincy -3, so I'm hoping he's not very effective today. But, yeah, Travis Kelce, there was hope, but it's out. He's out for today. The line, though, hasn't moved. Freiermuth also out for the Steelers. They're missing a defensive end. People think with Hill back, that's enough for Patrick Mahomes. I'm not seeing this line below 10 at most books. 10 or 10.5 remains the number.
All right, very good. Thank you. Those are really good storylines. And as always, we will break down every single game on the board today at noon Eastern time. If you are not a subscriber to this YouTube channel, you're watching us right now, hit that subscribe button. It is free. Turn on those notifications, and you will not miss even one moment. If you listen on Spotify, there's a brand new feature. You can leave us a 5-star review. We would appreciate that, and Apple as well, wherever you listen. All right, he named this show. So on Sundays, he always goes first. M squared, you know the drill, son! Give it to me.
All right, Coach, we'll keep it short and sweet because the line is moving significantly. I placed this bet at 8:55 Central. It is now 9:10 Central. Antonio Brown, over 66.5 receiving yards, -110 on FanDuel. It sings everywhere else. It's all the way up to 69 to 70 already, other than I think maybe one book is someone's talking about there. But basically, love Antonio Brown in this spot. He's got a lot of contract incentives to hit. It's a good matchup for him. There's not a lot of competition with no Evans or Godwin out there. It's going to be a great opportunity for him. Tom Brady still likes the guy a lot. They still have a ton of chemistry. You look at the games, the last 3 games that they played together, the number of targets were averaging double-digit targets every game. Give me Antonio Brown over 66.5, and I would play it all the way up to 72.
And Mikey, I just got it in at 66.5 at
Beautiful.
One of the books that I use. So thank you for that. So that number is still out there because I just did it. We don't play. We walk it and we talk it. All right. So that's our first play of the day. Sorry, I got a little distracted. I was putting my play in. All right. Up next. And this is a man who is not scared to attack a game where there is a quarterback, even though Maestro said had some pretty good numbers this year, but this man is not afraid to play a number in this game. AB, you're up next.
Yeah, give me Joe Burrow over 252.5 passing yards today. We've gotten this number to drop a little bit, obviously, with the news of Josh Johnson and the Baltimore Ravens. But if you go back and look at that Week 7 matchup when the Ravens were at much more, healthier strength, Joe Burrow carved him up, all right? He went 23 of 38 for 416 yards, 3 passing touchdowns. And look, 2 reasons for it, okay? Yes, I understand the game script could be a little bit different. Books are realizing that, there might not be as many passing yards. But the Bengals aren't that good enough of a team that they start blowing people out. Like, I think that this game is going to be a little bit better than people might think, not to mention the Baltimore Ravens do a pretty good job of stopping the run. All right. They allow only 3.9 yards per rush, 6th fewest in the NFL. And they've only allowed 11 rushing touchdowns, 7th fewest in the NFL. So Burrow's going to have to put in work. And this is a pretty attractive number. And look, the Ravens, they play cover one defense over 50% of the time this year. They are stingy with it. However, Joe Burrow against cover one, beautiful. 3rd in the NFL in his passer rating, 1st in the NFL at yards per attempt, 2nd in the NFL at TDs per attempt. He loves playing against cover one. He's going to get a lot of options today. Look for a lot of big plays in the passing game. And if they don't convert those to touchdowns, even better for us, because he'll have to still continue to put the ball in the air.
Incredible Chick-fil-A nuggets of the day, even on a Sunday when the store is closed. A couple of things. First and foremost, if the Bengals cover -3, we're now stepping up and doing all of you a solid who are not SportsLine members. So if they cover the 3, and this was sent out on Friday, the jeweler will drop a one-time free membership code. It's good for a full year. You don't think that it's good for a full year? Then don't try it in the chat. But everybody who has won has loved it so far. Real quick, Mikey, a couple of chat questions on props. Let's go. Joe Mixon over 19.5 rush attempts, -125. And then T. Higgins over 60.5 receiving yards before I get to the Maestro. Your thoughts on either one?
I don't mind either one. I'm not taking unders on either one. I still think this game has massive shootout potential. I have the over in the game, which has obviously lost 4 points since then. So after the quarterback changes. So, man, I'll go over on Higgins. I don't know that I love the over on Mixon, but it makes sense if you think they're going to blow him out, that he would have a few additional carries.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Mikey. All right, Maestro, we have come to that time of the show. And I know that on Sunday mornings you are locked and loaded. So, I don't know. Can you give me 3 plays that you like today? Maybe 3? You got 3?
I got 3 for you, Coach. Starting with the teaser, Falcons -0.5. Vikings +9.5 available on DraftKings at -120. The drop off from Goff to Boyle is absolutely massive. Goff was the best quarterback in the league last week in terms of his efficiency. The Falcons desperate to win a home game, which they haven't done in Atlanta. Technically, they got a home win in London. And the Vikings have not lost by more than 8 points all season. 11 straight games decided by single digits. It's a tougher week for the Rams Tuesday night. Early start in Minnesota. I love this teaser. I'm also going to play the Broncos at a pick'em over the Raiders, even though it's Drew Lock. You know, Drew Lock is bad. We all know he's bad, but he was not as bad last week when he got in, and he is facing a completely decimated Raiders secondary. And the Raiders offense is really struggling. 16 points. They've only scored more than 16 points once in their last 7, 2-5 straight up, 1-6 ATS in that stretch. I'm going to play the Broncos to get revenge for losing at home to the Raiders early in the season. And finally, Tyler Kroft of the Jets-Jags. You need a reason to watch Jets-Jags. Well, here's the reason. Tyler Kroft over 17.5 receiving yards. Ryan Griffin, who had caught a pass in every game at tight end, he's out, injured reserve, and on COVID list. Tyler Kroft, 3 straight games with 2 catches, 3 straight games over this numbers. The Jets are down a bunch of wide receivers. He can get 2 or 3 catches and get over 17.5.
Educate, ladies and gentlemen, and entertain. I don't say it enough. There are levels to this game. Sometimes I just sit back and I'm just so grateful that these dudes are on my team. Hail to the yes. All right, don't forget we are live today at noon Eastern time. Also, live tonight at 7:20 Eastern time. We'll break down all of the afternoon games. And then, of course, Sunday night, it means a lot. Washington and Dallas can't get much better than that. We thank you all. Hopefully, you all had a great Christmas. We have one thing left to do after I say we're up against it. Grab your paper. Grab your pencil. Here is the recap. And as always, on this Sunday brunch version, it is glorious. M-squared. He's on Antonio Brown. The number is moving, so you need to get it. He would play it up to 70.5. Then AB on Joe Burrow over 252.5 passing yards, -115. Then the Maestro, 3 big plays today. Tyler Kroft over 17.5 receiving yards. Broncos pick them against the Ravens. And then let's go a little teaser. Bring the Falcons down, Vikings up, and let's go -120. Then the gym today is a teaser. Bengals, Seahawks, Saints. Let's cash that at plus 160. It's going to be a big day at the brand. Make sure you're following all of our social media handles because you never know where you're going to get the information. Damn it, do we love doing this. Now, hopefully you all had a wonderful Christmas. But guess what? That's in the rear view. It's time to get locked and loaded. Time to get focused because this next week, there's a whole lot going on. NFL, college bowl games, NBA, NHL. See what I'm saying? There's a lot going on. One thing left to do. I'm fired up today. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, M Squared, Dial Up, Maestro, the jeweler, our executive producer, puts it all together here at the brand. I am the coach. We grind and we grind for you 7 days a week, and we proved it yesterday, 365 days a year. Anybody else doing that? I didn't think so. We are the Early Edge. Good luck.